Imagine this. You open your eyes. You are inside an aircraft. The cockpit screens flicker to life. Dozens of digital indicators glow across the console in front of you, and you are sitting at 15,000 meters altitude inside a completely silent, completely invisible aircraft. Outside, it is a June night in 1941. Below you, Germany's eastern borders stretch into the darkness, and your mission is to eliminate the one man who could stop the greatest massacre in history, Adolf Hitler. In your hands, you have the most advanced stealth bomber the world has ever seen, the B-2 Spirit. But your enemy is the most brutal and organized war machine history has ever known. Make one wrong move, and the Nazis seize future technology, and everything changes. Make the right move, and tens of millions of people survive. The clock is ticking, and this time, you will decide the course of history. June 1941, the first hours of Operation Barbarossa. Germany is now launching the largest land invasion in history, entering Soviet territory with 3 million soldiers, 3,000 tanks, more than 2,500 aircraft, and countless artillery positions. This is not just a war. This is the moment that lights the fuse of the greatest massacre in human history. In the West, France has already fallen, and Britain is trying to survive alone. Hitler controls almost the entire European continent, and he looks unstoppable. But you know the truth. If Barbarossa succeeds, the siege of Leningrad, Stalingrad, Auschwitz, Dachau, and hundreds of other horrors will come next. The total death toll will reach 70 to 80 million. There will never be a better night to stop this. The units that sent you on this mission did not just give you a B-2. In your hands, you also have an operational intelligence file pulled from a future CIA database. Hitler's hourly movement schedule, bunker coordinates, fuel depot locations in northern Germany, the exact positions of the railway hubs feeding Army Group Center, and the GPS coordinates of the German High Command's communication centers. Of course, GPS has not been invented yet, but you will enter these coordinates into the system manually. At this point, the first real and very serious limitation appears. The B-2's guided weapons and precision munitions normally use satellite signals. In 1941, there is not a single satellite in orbit. That means you enter the coordinates yourself, make the calculations yourself, and you have zero margin for error. If you enter one number wrong or calculate the wind factor even 1 degree off, you hit the wrong building. Or even worse, you score a direct hit, but the target is not there. The second major limitation is fuel. With an aerial refueling tanker, the B-2 can stay in the air for up to 44 hours. But in 1941, there is no tanker waiting for you in the sky. With the fuel you have roughly 4 hours of active flight time. After that, you either return or you crash. And if you crash, German engineers reach the wreckage of this aircraft. The stealth coating, composite materials, avionics systems, all of it falls into the hands of Nazi Germany. History really changes then, but not in the direction you want. Radar technology in the 1940s cannot catch you. German early warning systems are considered extremely advanced for their time. The Freya and Würzburg radar networks cover large parts of Europe, but these systems cannot detect the B-2. German radar operators sit in front of their screens, hundreds of operators staring without blinking, and you pass directly over them. But they have no idea. You choose your first target, but that target is not Hitler. The CIA file says this clearly. Trying to hunt Hitler in the first strike is suicide. There are bunkers, fake convoys, and underground command tunnels. If you try to hit him directly, he either escapes or never comes out at all. You look at the screen. The first target is the railway junction near Brest-Litovsk. In the first week of Barbarossa, the main supply line feeding Army Group Center passes through here. Hundreds of rail cars per day, ammunition, fuel, food, spare parts. If this line goes down, the German advance on the Eastern Front slows, and at first, the Germans may not even understand what happened. You manually verify the coordinates. Once, twice, 3 times. 12,000 meters below, in the darkness of the night, a massive explosion erupts. The tracks split apart, the bridge supports collapse, and the line shuts down. And the best part is this. German radios immediately come alive, but the content is surprising. Nobody says bombing. The first reports say explosion, then possible accident, and then they start considering sabotage. This is only the beginning, because you turn toward the second target. This time, the target is a communications center. You enlarge the target on the screen. A small military area, a few antennas, a few vehicles, guards around the perimeter. In the modern world, this target would look very easy. You run another manual check. Then the missile launches, and a few seconds later, the communication center is gone. The operators in the radio room lose contact at the same time. Meanwhile, German air defense wakes up. Sirens begin to wail. Searchlights scan the sky. Anti-aircraft batteries aim upward and search for the B-2. But there is no target. No sound, no image, no silhouette. Nothing can be seen. But you still cannot relax, because every minute your fuel is running lower. The first hour is over. You have not even touched Hitler yet, but you have started breaking Barbarossa's tempo. The railway line is closed. The communication center is silent. The fuel flow is disrupted. Some units at the front are waiting for orders. Some trains cannot move. You have saved millions of people by yourself. Now you turn toward the real target. The red-marked area from the CIA file opens on the screen. The headquarters area where Hitler is believed to be located. But hitting this place directly would be stupid, because he could be underground. He could be in a shelter. Even if you destroy the main building, he could survive. And if he survives, he will never stay in the same place again. So you make a riskier but smarter move. You target the logistics point next to the headquarters. Close, but not direct. Your goal is not to kill him there. Your goal is to force him outside. Because you can catch Hitler on the road, not inside a bunker. The missile separates from the aircraft. A few seconds later, an explosion erupts near the headquarters area. This time, the German reaction is different. Guards start running. Phones ring. Officers come out of rooms. Lights are turned off. Vehicles are prepared. Someone shouts that this is not an ordinary attack, because the strikes are not approaching the front line. They are approaching the command structure itself. And at that exact moment, the thing you have been waiting for happens. The evacuation order is given. But the Germans are not easy prey. They do not send out a single convoy. 3 separate vehicle groups move at the same time. The first one is too flashy. Too much protection. Too many vehicles. Too much attention. It almost looks like a target on purpose. The second one turns onto a forest road. Quieter, more professional. The third one enters the road to a small town. It looks more ordinary. At first glance, it even seems unimportant, but it stays close to civilians, and that makes you think. You can hit all 3 convoys at the same time. But what if Hitler never joined any of them? What if he is actually still inside his secret underground headquarters? Then they would realize you are targeting him, and he would never come out. But you have to make a plan quickly, because you are running out of time. You decide to attack everywhere, so you can eliminate the possibilities. First, you send a missile toward the first convoy. The first convoy is still moving along the main road, heavily protected, extremely flashy, and almost screaming, "Hit me!" A few seconds later, the convoy disappears in an explosion. Without wasting time, you turn toward the second convoy. It has entered the forest road. They are trying to hide beneath the trees. Their lights are off. The vehicles are spaced apart, and their security is more disciplined. This one looks more serious. The Germans cannot see you, but now they know the attack is coming from above. They have received word that the first convoy exploded. The convoy suddenly stops, vehicles spread out, and some soldiers run into the trees. It is as if they are using every trick of the old world against an invisible enemy. But your aircraft has heat-sensitive sensors, and you are aware of all of them. You lock onto the target and send the second missile. The explosion cuts across the forest road. Trees fall, vehicles stop, and the convoy completely falls apart. Now only the last convoy remains. The B-2 has destroyed both convoys, but now the game has changed. The Nazis understand that the attack is not coming from the ground, but from the sky. Sirens blare at the nearest alert airfield. German fighter planes take off to protect the final convoy. This makes it clear that the enemy is truly in the last convoy. At the same time, anti-aircraft batteries on the ground open blind fire into the sky without seeing anything. But the problem is this: the B-2 is far above them, silently circling at high altitude. German pilots are searching the sky for a ghost. Their radars cannot clearly lock onto it, and their planes cannot reach the altitude where it operates comfortably. You see them as tiny dots on your screen, but they still cannot find you. So you do not fight the fighters directly. You do not even care about them. The fuel indicator is now approaching the red line. Time is running out for the return route. German anti-aircraft guns are still firing randomly into the sky. They cannot see you, but they are preventing you from lowering your altitude. If even one of them damages the aircraft by chance, the mission could turn into a disaster. Below, the third convoy enters the narrow road of the town. In a few seconds, it will blend in between the buildings. Then your clear firing angle will close. The sensors catch the target one last time. Heat signatures appear inside the vehicle. The convoy stops in the most crowded part of the town center. Your finger waits over the control. You are locked onto the target. You are no longer just a pilot. The system is ready to fire. In a few seconds, the target will disappear. You have to make your decision. If you press the button, Hitler will be gone. The war will end much earlier, and millions of people will be saved. But the innocent people in that town will be gone too. If you do not fire, Hitler will escape, and history will not change. You are the pilot. What would you do? Would you pull the trigger and strike that town to eliminate Hitler? Or would you hold your fire and allow history to continue as we know it? Of course, everything described here is a completely fictional what-if scenario. It was made purely for entertainment. For similar what-if scenarios, you can click the playlist on the screen. Do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.